Greetings and welcome everyone to a new First Taste mini-series where we're going to be covering Project Highrise, a tower simulation game. Now, on the surface, the name tower simulation doesn't really conjure ideas or mental projections of a fun game, but I am here to educate you as to the error of that assumption. Now, this game is developed by SomaSim and published by Kasedo Games, and as I've mentioned, it's a bit of a tower sim. Now, what is a tower sim, you might ask? It's literally a game in which you run a tower and you try to build it up. It could be any kind of tower, just an office block, a residential tower, an arcology if you want. They all seem to come from a game pretty old now called Sim Tower. You know, they seem to have a theme in that they do exactly what they say on the tin. But Sim Tower was an old game and it was quite buggy, but it was deliciously addictive. A lot of games have tried to recapture that addictiveness and that fun since, to varying degrees of success, but most have failed to either capture the game mechanics, the sort of way everything balanced and fit together to make a fun game, or just the feel, the aesthetics, just the quirkiness of the game. Project Highrise is really close. It may even actually be it. I'm going to withhold that judgment, however. As you can see down here, test, build, confidential, do not distribute. I have permission. This game was given to me by the developers. Now, it isn't available yet, but it's available this summer, so in the near future. I'm not sure what price it's going to be, but it is going to be up on Steam, and you can even go there now and add it to your wish list if you so choose. But if this game was released based only on what it is right now, I would say that this has matched, if not exceeded, Sim Tower's level of addictive funness, and that is what I'm going to demonstrate here. You can go through scenarios. I've already done one, neighborhood revitalization. I even got Gold Star. I was pretty happy with that one. They usually have various special goals outside of the typical game, and there are a lot of them. So if you're the type of person that likes to play with a very specific kind of goal in mind, then these would be the things for you. However, you could also play a sandbox game. Now, I'm going to be doing that because I feel that that's going to give me a more of an opportunity to demonstrate what this game is capable of and what it's about in the format of a First Taste mini-series. We are going to go with pretty much standard across the board. You can have the tower a very different kind of size. You can increase the difficulty. We'll leave her on standard. It is difficult enough. And of course, you can randomly generate a name or change the name. 875 North Michigan Avenue. Hive Primus. We're making an arcology, everyone. It is going to be a vast, gleaming chrome sort of affair that will eventually be the only safe haven for humanity once the planet goes to ruin, which we may usher along with the amount of industry that's going to be pumping out of this thing. You can't actually build industry, unfortunately. That's a lie. It's offices or people, or like offices or apartments. I've not seen anything about industry yet, unless you count people as industry, in which case, yes, Hive Primus seems fair enough. Right, okay, so Hive Primus. As you can see, there are other buildings around, and this is kind of our little building area. I'm going to quickly go over how all of this works and fits together without going through the tutorial. That was our building area. It goes up to floor 40 and down to floor 10. You can adjust that, though, with various in-game means. You can basically purchase and lobby the government to extend your building permit. Now, what we've got on screen, I'm going to pause it just for a little bit so I can just very quickly go over the interface and what we can see right in front of us before we jump into the game. Now, this is our tower. Everything is a side-on view. These are our construction workers. You always start with a construction worker, with a construction office, so you generally 2 construction workers. This is the stairs by which they can move between floors. This is a transformer, which allows us to make use of the electricity that's cabled through this area. If I turn on utilities view, there we are. You see this yellow line? That is electricity. The orange is phone. The kind of dark orange is cable TV. The dark blue is water, and the light blue is gas. Now, the difference between the dotted lines, now this is a nice thing to be able to show straight away. Dotted lines means, well, there's a pipe there, but it's not useful to the tower in any way. That would have been the case with the yellow line, except that we built a transformer. Now this transformer will allow us to provide 10 total power. Now depending on the size of lot that we build in the tower, it may use more than 1 total power for it. But this here is a wiring closet. It allows any of these 3 wires, so the cable, the phone, and the electricity, to move between floors. Otherwise, you can draw it along the floors. I will show you that in a minute, but this is going to be my lobby, and I don't plan to have any electricity on my lobby other than, you know, in the floors and the ceilings, you know, blah, blah, blah. Not a lot of it. It's just enough for lights, etc., etc. Now, we are also, like, straight off the bat, I'm just going to build one of these just to demonstrate it. There's a similar one for plumbing. So this is a plumbing closet, and it hooks up all of the plumbing. This one specifically allows us to move gas and water around, and together these will allow us to move these utilities up and down the floors and throughout the rest of our tower. But that aside, we have the general interface. This is our contract. This is our overviews, as you've seen, the utility overview, the general, like, you know, where can I build on this map overview, the building information overview, I guess. And here, lots of different things: profitability, smells, noise. You're gonna have to keep an eye on these for when placing certain buildings, because certain people have very specific limits to what they'll tolerate. Down here, we've got the time controls. Prestige. Now, this basically is gating you from different buildings. Certain buildings can only be placed in your tower if you've reached a certain prestige level. It's not a currency. You don't earn it and then spend it, but you can lose it if certain bad things happen. But generally speaking, your prestige is only going to be going up, with very few exceptions to that. And as it reaches certain thresholds, you'll unlock new types of facilities that you can put into your tower. Down here is the amount of people in the tower. The population also includes the workers who work at your tower but don't live there. And we have the visitors. Now, some people will just come in, perhaps to visit your shops if you've got particularly good shops. Over here, you've got your money, you've got your ability to take out loans. We've got influence, which is kind of how you get certain concepts into your tower. So if we want to expand our building lot, we're going to have enough influence and someone to lobby the right people in politics in order to get that pushed through. Buzz is that, but for general people. This is how interesting your tower is. Is it showing up in social media? Do people just come there so that they can take selfies at your tower? That's what Buzz represents. And you can spend that on things like ad campaigns or certain other things that generally make your life a lot easier. Over here then, you've got all of the building buttons. I'm not going to go through what's in each one of these, other than they are where you go to get the various things. Over here, we've got a general readouts. You can generate reports. Sometimes useful. Generally, I get through the game without using it too much. And then we've got contracts, and we're going to want to take a couple of these early on, because that's how you get your money, and money goes like water in this game. Water through a sieve. Right, so we've already got proof of concept, which requires that we get a daily rent revenue 1,000. Now, that's not subtracting our expenses. We'll be able to hit that without actually making 1,000 a day. We just need to be getting that rent in before we have to pay off all our workers and you know, various people in government that we got to let us build here. We've got more people needed. We'll have to get a population of 50. We're very far from that, so let's not take that one. Basic offices, 16 small offices. Studio apartments, 10 studio apartments. A bit of variety. They want more different, like food courts and that sort of thing. We're going to go for basic offices, because whilst you can make a hybrid tower, and I probably will, with apartments and offices, or you can go into one or the other. Generally, I like to start with offices because they're very easy to satisfy, and they're a good foundation for the rest of your tower. So we're going to pick up that one. They're going to pay 500 up front and 1,000 on completion, as well as a little bit of influence. Now, we're going to need to get on the go. I would like, right, we've got the stairs there, but generally speaking, it is useful to have elevators. Now, elevators are going to let our people move between floors that much faster. And once we've got like catering services and janitors and couriers, having an elevator in the basement where I'm going to be putting their kind of rooms is going to make things a lot easier for us later on. So I'm planning for the future here in much the same way as I am by placing that. But first, we're going to build out a couple of floors. Now, you might be wondering, wow, you're spending your money pretty quickly. I can see what you mean about it going like water. Well, I am planning for the future in that this is going to be my lobby. I don't really want much on there except the lobby. This is going to be some initial commercial. So, for example, shops, cafes, diners. These 2 levels will be for offices. In fact, we're going to go for 3 levels straight out of the gate. And then we're going to run the elevator all the way up. It's going to take our workers a little while, so I'm going to speed that up. And while they're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and move our cabling all the way up as well. And the same with the plumbing, though I very much doubt that any of the offices will require plumbing. They don't tend to. The small offices, usually their thing is electricity and phone lines. But I'm not going to lay the phone lines down just yet. I know they will all require electricity, so I'm going to place that down. And it's the same for all of the shops. They all require electricity. However, only a couple of them require phone lines, or at least at this stage of the game, the ones that we can build, only a few of them are going to require phone lines. I will build a place for people to start having food and stuff like that once we're actually at a point where we've got a population that is going to turn a profit for those places. Otherwise, they'll go bust, and that won't be very good for anyone, me or them. As for the offices, we can afford to build 3 on each floor. I would actually like to take that out to 4 or 5. So where would 5 be? 5 would be just over there. Very well. Let us expand that out. I can't see it anymore. How useless. No. We have paid a lot. We've paid like half of our starting cash on just building the floors for this place, and I'm not even bringing in any money yet. It's a risky way to play this game. A very risky way to play this game. But at the same time, you can't really drag your feet either, because you will be losing money every day regardless what's happening. At least at the beginning. I'm losing 730 a day right now, which is kind of terrifying. Right, let's pop down these offices. Right, we've allocated space for rent. I'm not going to actually have the tips on. I'll go over how this all works as we go. Right, so we've got a couple of offices, and I need 4 of each. Well, let's start with accounting. No, we can't. We need a greater variety of food courts. Very well. Now, insurance generally don't need phone lines, but they do expect copy services. Very well. We'll get that going. And I am going to build more than the required 4, but that will take a little bit of time. Now, we need a phone line down here, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to place a phone line. Now, I could like build for the future and build a gigantic one, but I'm not going to. I'm going to just place that one. There we go. That is giving us enough telephone. That switchboard can handle 10 different lines. Electricity-wise, we're only using 3, which is fine. So they've all moved in now, which is grand for us. Up here, we're going to need a little bit more as well. And the reason why I'm building the phone line right now is because we are going to be building the legal offices in just a second, and we're going to want phone lines for them. We are going to draw out the phone lines. We'll do this floor for now. These floors only have a need for electrical, so, you know, that works well for me. Unfortunately, I can't seem to prioritize them. They just do the jobs as I gave them the jobs, which I could have planned this a little bit better, in all honesty, but we should be okay. We'll be able to ride this debt wave for now. Hopefully, we'll be able to get out of losing money before we have to think about taking a loan, but depending on how many days this takes to get there, that may be a pie in the sky dream. There we go. Place another office there. Can we get another insurance office? Yes, we can. We're going to need to get copy services. Basically, lots of different things. Like, if you build apartments, they'll kind of expect, some of them might want a handyman. Some of them might expect laundromat services. Certain offices might expect catering staff. These are the reasons why they chose to come and rent a lot in your tower over the competition. So you do need to provide them. We can't expect them to do it themselves, though I kind of do. But then I'm just cranky. Let's see. We will want offices on these floors. Now, I'm not paying for just putting in the lots. I only pay when I designate the lot for some particular business. So there we go. Now, these ones, we're going to need some food courts for those. But first, before we get there, let's go ahead and get the copying services. It's desired by some of our tenants. It will go right there. So once that's built, they will all be a little bit happier. There we go. And eventually we'll get the staff who run the copier. That'll take a little while, unfortunately. There we go. So they're now, you know, dutifully copying. Our employees seem unhappy here. Oh, that's not very nice. I'm not happy about that. Right, we need to start looking at getting a food court restaurant. Very well. Let's go ahead and place a food court restaurant there. Now, they will generally like high traffic, but they'll also produce noise. They'll also produce smells. Basic offices are a good buffer to that because they don't seem to mind either. Which one pays me the most rent? They all pay me the same. Okay. Louis Bagels. Yes, bagels. I like bagels. We will also, and this is going to annoy Louis a little bit, going to make some additional competition so that people have a choice. We can go for San Francisco Hot Dog Grill or Brown Boulevard Hot Dog Shop. Hot Dog Shop? That just sounds weird. Hot Dog Grill. There we go. Now, they should all be hooked up with electricity. In fact, they are. As far as phones, only the top is hooked up with that. But at this point, we should be able to get... Now, they expect courier services, which is kind of annoying, but legal offices, what do you expect? Courier services, yes, okay, everyone wants courier services. Alright, well, since there's 5 legal, we'll go ahead and get all of those up here. There we go. We'll keep them on their respective floors. That will become almost impossible later on. You're not going to be able to do it with that level of luck and having... Yeah, this floor is the legal floor. This floor is the insurance floor. I mean, you could with a great deal of effort, but you're going to be waiting a long time to get the right types of people in there. Accounting... I mean, we need the courier services, so I'm going to have to do it. Accounting there, accounting there. We will lay down the phone line all the way along. Now, as you can see, we're running out of power. We need... we lack the money for it. Unfortunate. We are actually going to have to take out a loan. And we'll take out a $5,000 loan. We're going to be paying back a lot more. That's, you know, that's how credit works, unfortunately. But we are going to have a little bit more power. Now, we went through that initial transformer super fast. So perhaps what we should do here is instead go for something a little bit bigger. It'll cost us 2,000 to put it down instead of 250. But instead of 10, it'll give us 50. So it is cost effective. So we'll pop that there. We're also going to need to build this out along here. How big do we need it for the courier services? Let's have a quick look. Courier services need one more than that. I'm trying to be frugal with my money. Trying not to spend it all when I don't need to. And there we go. They're a little bit unhappy because for a little while they were without power. It's understandable. I can get where they're coming from there. Let's get this across here. We've still got a little room. We can put down a water or a gas main should we need it. We've just reached a rating of 1 prestige. Hooray! Now that unlocks some new things for us. Specifically allows us to paint down. Now, down here we've got basic decorative elements. They cost nothing and they do nothing in a mechanic sense, but they do a lot for the soul. Having this, just these around, no. I mean, our people won't appreciate it the way that we will appreciate it, but appreciate it we will, so I'm going to build them ASAP. Also, I want more accounting offices, so I'm going to place in an ad. 75. In 2 minutes, there should be more accountants available. And... look, okay... these towers run on coffee. I don't like it. You don't like it. Well, maybe you do. I don't know. Leafin probably likes it. Unicorn coffee. Okay. Oh no, Green Hill coffee and tea. Yes. Sorry, Unicorn coffee. You would have been selected otherwise. You were way ahead of the pack. And then I saw the word tea, and it was like I don't know, ludicrous speed, just ran straight past you, played everywhere. It was a mess, but, you know, I mean, it's not like you can complain. You were pooping out rainbows in front of your competition. Right, accounting offices. Let's get, were these accountants actually? No, those are law offices. Good, right. Accounting offices. Let's get you down. Requires courier services. We should have those accounting offices. Why are they saying they don't have courier? Oh no! I got the wrong thing. Right, you're gonna have to go. I have to break the lease with them. That was a bit silly of me. I was worrying about the coffee. Alright, we'll get that one as well. I do need courier services. I'm a derp. Such a massive derp. It was right there. It was right at the top as well. Okay, well, we're just going to wait for our people to finish off the work over there and get down here. There we go. Now, whilst that's happening, we can actually have a look at a couple of other things. Elevators. This is the reach of the elevators. We want another one on the other side soon. Oh, there we go. Fantastic. We have done proof of concept. We got a little bit of extra cash. That is always nice. And also, we've now got the option to grab these. I could go for a higher amount of rent. That'll be a bit harder. But we're about halfway to the population. So, yeah, let's grab that one. It's not going to be particularly hard, and I don't need to branch out into a new type of industry, such as, you know, apartments. Which is generally good. They're satisfied even though they're not making much money. But, you know, they're a new business. It's going to take them a little while. Can't believe I wasted that money. Right. Courier services. There we go. Let's get that going. How are we doing in there? No one came to that. Really? But it's tea. I know there's coffee there as well, but they can just choose the tea. Ah, fools. Over here, employees seem unhappy here. That makes me a little bit sad. We like being a high traffic area and we're gaining more regular customers. There are 2 regulars who like them. Drats, rain! Oh no, right, rain will affect visitors, but we're not really relying on visitors too much in this tower just yet. We're more the people who actually work here rather than people coming in to visit our amazing malls or the cinema or whatever. I'm not actually sure you can build a cinema in this one. I know you could in Sim Tower. You could really make an arcology in Sim Tower. It was kind of glorious. Right, there we go. We don't need that tip again. We will want another elevator. And, of course, we're going to want the utility closet coming all the way up for us. Right there, all the way. In fact, we're going to take this up 2 more floors. We want a fair old population of office drones in this place. And I say drones because, let's face it, you kind of are if you're working in an office. I was a drone once, and then I left. I gained my independence. I had to fight my way out, though. It was kind of gladiatorial style. I had to earn my freedom. Right. Okay, let's speed things up because it's going to take our workers a little while to get this going. Hopefully, I'm not going to add in too many different places down here until these start becoming profitable. But now, as I alluded to, we've got options for some decorations. Again, these do not do anything in terms of making your people more happy to be there. This is purely for you. But as far as being for anyone, it may as well be for you. I'm going to leave 3 and then a window. 3 and then a window. Oh, that works out. Well, actually, no, that doesn't quite work out that well. But I can do that, and it kind of looks like I meant to. Okay, lighting-wise, I'm going to have, yeah, wall-mounted lights there. And this really does nothing, but on the plus side, it doesn't cost anything either, and that is very, very good, because otherwise this might be a bit nasty. We'll put some chairs there, and I'll have a nice cabinet maybe. Yeah, I actually quite like that. Maybe have some... No, we won't do that. Indoor plants as well. We can have a couple of these, maybe flanking the windows a little bit. We'll use one of those and this one there. Oh, that's pretty. I like it. Now people coming in here in their digital lives will actually not care about this at all. It's practically invisible to them. But my eyes bleed a little less and my soul is a little less heavy. Right, now we want more offices in order to make more money. There's a problem with one of your elevator shafts. Oh no! Okay, right, that was good. That was a very good thing to remind me of. We need a maintenance crew because this is now going to take... People can still use it. They're not trapped on the floor, but it takes them super long to get down. So we are going to want to build that out because we are going to want building staff and a maintenance crew right in there. So if my workers could get on that straight away, I would be very happy. Okay, we're still losing a little bit of money, but not too terribly much. I think once all of these offices are populated, it will be fine. Alright, building staff, pop that down. There we go. Now, the building staff, they'll do two things. One, they can renovate lots that are getting worn down just by time and wear and tear and that sort of thing. And the other thing is they'll repair things like the elevators. Super, super important job, as you can imagine. Now, we're going to need electricity on all of these floors, so let's run those down. Now, let's try and see if we can get people who don't need phone lines. The bottled water, we can't afford it. We can't do that. I'm so sorry, but no. Insurance, they only require electrical. Let's get another insurance in there. And in fact, I'm going to pay the 50 it costs to run another ad. I want more insurance companies to fill out this floor, if we can. Even though it's very difficult to run your tower like this and have, you know, just the right kind of businesses on the right floors and segregated, all happy, nice, everyone has their place and enjoys being there. I'm going to try. We'll see how it goes how long it takes me before I'm like, I just need money, just put the things everywhere, oh my god. It won't take long. just an FYI there. Right, so there we go. We've got money coming in there. Now, we've got creative offices. They require prestige, but they do pay a lot more rent. They need a phone line, they need bottled water, and office supplies, of course. It won't just be one thing they need. Right, well, if I want to do that, I'm going to need to take out another loan. You know what? I'm tempted to just see how they do for now. Profitability is still really bad here. Oh, you're starting to get there. You've got 10 customers and 1 regular who likes you. You've got 12 customers and 5 regulars. You're very close to meeting your rent, rather being profitable. 10 customers, 2 regulars. I might drop the rent a little bit. I think I will. Look, I'll cut you a break. I'm not going to cut you a super duper break, but I'm going to cut you a little break. There you go. 2 of you are profitable. 1 of you is almost profitable. I'm a good landlord. I like to believe I'm a good landlord. I'm the sort of landlord who'd, like, you know, build a block of studio apartments, but then would be like, well, I know I'm only charging like £65 a week because I assume that if you're living in a studio apartment, you don't have much money. But you deserve to have nice things too, and then invest like thousands of pounds in the decor and modern art and stuff like that, and then I'd be like losing money hand over fist. But my soul would be good. I die poor, but happy. Right, okay, yeah, we're finally turning a profit. Hurrah! Good, happy days. You know what? I could even make more insurance offices just to get that going, because it only requires electrical and not phones. I'm tempted. In fact, I am so tempted I'm going to. Right. Once we've got that, we should actually be okay. I do need creatives though. That's an absolute. So I'm gonna have to start running stuff along the top there. Ooh, got a lot of them. Brilliant. Okay, pop you in there. It's gonna cost me a little bit of cash. Pop you in there. Go for you because you pay more. And you as well. Sorry, don't have enough money for the last one. But as you can see, we're now turning a profit. If you wanted to be a purist about this sort of thing, you could just do this and not worry about taking out any more loans. Now we're solvent. It's all good. It's just a matter of time. And we're getting more and more people coming in the day. This is good. We've probably got some nice traffic there. These shops are... Wow. Okay, San Francisco Hot Dog Grill is particularly happy. They're getting super amount of custom and a lot of traffic going on there. Okay, no, that's pretty good. View, we're not going to have a nice view for a long while. The view, as you can see, gets better the higher you go. I mean, it makes sense. Elevators. This is the reach of the elevator, so we're going to want to put another elevator over there to make sure that pretty much everywhere has elevator access, if we want them to. Don't have to. We really don't have to, but they are super satisfied. I think they're happy just that we've given them less rent. Okay, Mr. Moneybags, you're making loads of money now. Still, I'm going to leave your rent low just for a little bit longer. What we're going to do, though... Oh, yeah, I'm super out of money. Influence is going up here and there, and I believe influence goes up when generally certain types of buildings generate influence. I think it might actually be legal specifically. I could be wrong. I'm not sure. Or it could just be based on satisfaction. That might also be how you get influence. But we've got 7. We need 10 before we can really do anything. And basically there are 3 different paths you can go down: aesthetics, politics, or operations. I'll continue talking out here so that time will pass, but aesthetics allows you to build more art-orientated things like galleries, get better art in your building, like you can actually get proper art. Now that costs a lot of money, but will generate prestige and happiness and generally make the tower a nice place to be for people. There we go, we're actually making a reasonable amount of cash now. I'm pretty happy with that. We'll go with you since you pay more. Right, and the politics is how you basically lobby for extra building permits. You can build a metro in your building, you can increase the size of your lot, so on and so forth. And operations relates to your service staff, making them more efficient, getting more an ability to build extra offices, because I can't just build more construction offices because I want to. That's not how that works. But going through the operations area, you can do a little bit more. But as you can see, we've got certain things that we can now do. I can now build storage bays because we're at 2 prestige. The yellow shows up, or rather the orange shows up to let you know that there's new stuff. I can now make 1-bedroom apartments, whereas before I could only build studio flats. I can now also make a small store. Now the small store ties into the storage space. I'm thinking we're probably going to want to do that, but we need more people. Always more people. That is our goal at the moment, is to increase the population. So let's continue to drive our tower into the sky. Can't afford it. Drat, Diamond Blast. Got 60 more payments of this. I could take out an extra... maybe... I could take out a very big loan there. I mean, I'm earning enough to swallow that, and it would give me a lot to play with, but I don't really want to spend that much money, to be honest. No, I'll take this one. Now, I'm locked out. That's it. I can't have more loans. So I've in a way, I've locked myself on a course. No more help from loans. I'm going to have to do whatever I do by myself, effectively, from this point on, with just that little injection of cash to get us started. In fact, we're going to go ahead and we're going to rise the tower 1 more level again. And that will be as much as we're going to be able to afford to do. I'll add those in now because eventually I'm going to need them. And I know we're going to need more electricity, so I can add that in straight away. Now, I could start adding medium office space, but they have significantly larger requirements. And I'd rather not mess with that right now. But you know what? I feel that these office workers, they deserve something a little bit different. So I'm going to decorate this little spot. We're going to go with these types of walls there. You know what? No. We're going to go with these types of walls, just the plain walls there. And we're going to add in... we're still making a decent amount. We're going to add in a little water cooler. We're going to add in maybe a funky clock. There we go. And a plant. Gotta have a plant. There we go. So those office workers got, they've got the best floor so far. And for them, we're going to make them the creative office workers. We're going to need office supplies and bottled water services, which is kind of why I put that there. Right, so I'm going to try and grab only the ones who want bottled water rather than the office supplies, because that'll just complicate things for me. Bottled water and bottled water, fine. Right, I'm going to need to run a phone line along this floor. Straight across. Now, let's make sure that we are actually... Oh, no, we're actually using more than we can afford. So, let's go ahead and place down another one. I would love to be able to place down that one, but I really can't. So, we're just going to have to put that one there. We can only just afford it. They're going to have to wait a little while before they can get their swanky bottled water. But the moment that's finished, we're going to get a little influx of money because we will have completed a new contract. There we go. So we get 1,000 wired into our account, and we can take a new contract as well. At this point, we've got enough influence to start using it, but I think that's where we're going to wrap up this episode, this first episode of this first taste. In the next episode, we will check out how influence is used and all of the funky things that we can do with that. We'll also set up a bottled water. Don't worry, I won't forget about them. Or maybe I will actually. You know what? Perhaps I should lay the foundations. At the very least, that way I'll be like, oh, what did I lay these foundations for? Oh, that's right. Bottled water. I did say I would give it to them. Is that big enough? No. We'll just lay those foundations. I'll know there's a conspicuous empty spot there. I was probably going to put something there. What am I missing? But that is going to be it from me, as ever, especially with the first episode in a series. If you enjoyed the video, then do leave a like on it. And if you have any feedback, please do leave a comment down below. But until next time, do take care, everyone.